Hello, everyone. We're mad. We're angry. We're not gonna take it anymore.
No more.
No, we ain't gonna take it.
We are just furious. So let's see who's with us tonight.
Hi, Tom.
So Mark's here, Tom's here, Nick's here. Welcome.
Not on the ledge.
Oh my gosh, we are on the ledge. I am on the ledge.
I'm on edge.
I am just gonna blow my gasket. I felt so sick today. I couldn't even eat.
I couldn't watch, to be honest.
It was crazy. So
I had better things to do. My son is back home from college, so I decided to dedicate my day to something that gives me happiness.
You need that day to get away from this. I watched the game all day. How terrible was that? And I thought actually they were going to win today. I really did. Because,
don't worry, Tom.
Runs.
Tom, life goes on.
Oh
okay.
My gosh.
Life goes on.
So it's crazy. I just.
Hi, Kike.
It's
Hola.
so unacceptable what's happening with the Mets. We cannot ignore this. It is bad, ugly, and not good. And changes need to
unacceptable.
Be made.
Yes.
So right now, the hitting's anemic. The pitching is pathetic. The fielding, I don't know what happened to these Mets. The fielding's terrible. They've always had a good fielding team. They started the year, saving games with their fielding. And now they're losing games with their fielding. And their boneheaded mistakes on the bases it's like Little League. I mean, today, Vogelbach, he made a terrible mistake. He gets tagged out at second base, and the run, Beatty doesn't score as a result.
It's a mess.
And then,
tough road, tough homestand to Kike. It's been, I don't know what excuse they're gonna. I don't know. There's no excuses. Tom is saying that even Scherzer doesn't look good.
So, you know what? I have to agree with that, but I think it's too early to say he's washed up because I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook and social media like he's done. And you can't count him out now.
No, and Verlander wasn't that terrible. He had a little bit of a rough start. Yeah.
2 home runs.
Yes.
Hey, 2 runs. I take it.
Me
Coming
too.
back from injury.
But then where are our runs?
And you're right. We don't score the runs. We give him nothing. Welcome to DeGrom's world last year.
Exactly.
When he didn't get any runs, right?
So this comment from March is what I've been saying. We gotta bring the kids up.
We have to
sit everybody down.
We have to. So Vientos and Mauricio are
ready,
hitting the ball crazy in Syracuse,
and that'll shake everything up. Sit everybody down. Let them watch. Let them sit there and watch. I just think Buck is probably too loyal to his veteran player. I don't know what it is.
It's unacceptable that you have 2 guys that are hitting the cover off the ball and they're not up here playing for the Mets when the Mets are not producing. You have guys that are coming into the lineup that don't belong in the lineup right now.
They need to sit down and wait. Marte.
And you know what? Epler, I'm sorry.
Out. No.
I'm sorry. Your press conference to address the media, to address the fans, to placate us, it didn't work because you know what? Sending Beltran down to look at the guys.
Why can't he go himself?
It's so crazy.
Because he's probably, you know what? Maybe Beltran's going to be his replacement.
So no.
No, I
Listen,
know, but
I don't want Beltran. I have not forgiven.
don't give me that look.
I have not forgiven Beltran from 2006. Looking at a called strike 3 in the 7th game of the playoffs, the NFL. Oh my God, you know what I'm thinking? The NBL, the National League playoffs to get to the World Series. I'm so flustered that I can't even think about what I'm saying. Is that he basically did nothing, and I never forgot that. I never forgot that.
Apparently, Brenda never forgets.
God, I never forgot. But
wait, who's this? Who's saying "Let's go Yankees"? Who is this? Is this an infiltrator?
Okay, all right.
What's this?
Oh, that's Sue's husband going on.
Okay, well,
it's okay.
The Yankees are not doing so hot right now.
Yeah,
so
the best thing about today was listening to the Yankee recap on the way over here, because they were winning 6-0 and they lost 8-7 in extra innings. So hey, you know what? It could be worse.
Welcome to the Mets. Welcome to the Mets world.
Yeah, so
and let's see what Marge is saying here. The Mets are still searching for a true number 5 hitter to bat behind Alonso and a full workable rotation. To be honest, we need like a decent rotation.
So you know what? There's nobody in Syracuse that can come up as a pitcher for the Mets. They have 0. Their best pitcher is McGill. No, McGill's already out.
Oh,
but they have their best pitcher. ERA is 5.73, and it's only won 2 games this year. And his WHIP is 1.28. So he's putting a lot of guys on base. So that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That concerns me too. So that's just.
You want to change subjects a little bit, and do you want to? We're gonna try not to talk too much about the Mets' current situation.
In my head, I can't even think straight.
We're not gonna. I don't want to talk about the Mets' current situation because it's gonna be a really bitter podcast, and we want to make this podcast fun and almost like interesting and a learning experience for those, or at least interesting and informational. So, in lieu of that, we have our very first guest today. His name is Prez Palmer. He's a sports agent and scout, and we're going to be talking to him today. So he's ready.
We want to welcome him to our podcast. All Mets, welcome.
Yeah. What's going on, Mets Nation? What's going on?
Right.
Not much. Nothing nice, nothing pretty. But I want to tell our audience also that if they have any questions, any pressing questions for Prez, just feel free to put them on the chat, and I will do my best to scan them through and have Prez answer those questions.
Yeah,
but we have some questions ourselves for him. So
so let me start out with a question for Prez. So Steve Cohen has spent the most money of any owner in baseball. Yes, for this lousy team. And despite the Mets having a poor start, most fans find this refreshing because after years of the Mets having frugal owners and competing with the Yankees for their attention, plus not making the World Series in 37 years, you know, they think the Met fans think that's great. Spend money, get the best team you can. But the owners see this astronomical spending as a threat to the sport. What is your opinion?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for having me on the podcast today. So current situation. Okay, we're 35 games in. You know, we're 1 game below 500. We're 7 games back behind the Braves. We are 3-7 in the last 10. Disappointing situation. I understand. Okay. Now, reflecting back, Steve Cohen, this billion-dollar owner who has busted in the doors and busted in with a big bank account. Okay, he originally purchased the Mets for $2.4 billion back in 2020. Okay, their current payroll, only trailing behind the New York Yankees, is around about 346 million. Okay, they are set to pay $98.6 million in luxury taxes this year.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he's opened up the wallet. He said we're open for business. He's trying to put a quality product out. Okay. Now let us reflect that Major League Baseball is one of the four Major League men's sports, the only one of four major professional men's sports in North America that does not have a salary cap. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you go
Yeah.
into the luxury tax,
That's
you go
right.
into the luxury tax, but you don't have a salary cap. Okay, so what Steve Cohen is strategically doing, he's leveraging that market in New York where you can attract those dollars. And I'm sure we can all agree that it costs a pretty penny to go to Citi Field and enjoy the New York Mets these days. But he's leveraging that market in which you can attract those dollars. In other markets, you just simply cannot, in order to put a quality product. So, to that, again, I say 35 games in, the Major League Baseball season is very long. Okay, we're in the month of May, not where we want to be, but not particularly where we're going to be. Okay.
Yeah, he might be levering the game by his investments, but we want to win a World Series.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, to your point, it is a small sample. It's not. I usually look though at 40 games. So we're getting close to that small sample that I think, constitute, a checkup of to see, what the team's doing and trying to make changes.
Yeah, and then can
So
we
I
make
think we're
changes?
at that point. We're very close to that point where we need to make changes.
Yeah, and can we make changes before it's too late?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Adjustments may be forthcoming. I mean, as you saw with him opening up the wallet to potential Correa deal earlier this year, where he wants a quality product on that field. He wants to do the best possible thing in order to put that quality product out there. So along the way, adjustments may be forthcoming, whether it be from the minor league system, whether it be through the trade process. There's plenty of options out there.
We have a comment here from March. She said, apparently dollars do not equal quality. We need some hungry young players to prove what they can do. That's one thing. And Enrique said, takes more than money with the Mets today. I think it'd be more about the farm scouting system, etc.
Yes, I agree on both of those points, Marge and Enrique. I definitely hear you knocking on that. With examine the playbook from the Yankees, which Steve Cohen has examined that playbook and he's amplified it. Where for many years the Yankees they opened up the coffers, to spend on talent. Okay, results did not reflect as desired. They were competitive. Sometimes, and sometimes it was disappointing, and it will be challenging as a fan from the outside to say, hey, look, we want it now. Mm-hmm. We want it right now. Yeah. However, Buck Showalter at the helm there, he has proven that he is a great manager in the clubhouse and on the field. And, full confidence, he's time tested and proven that he'll get this team in line.
But I hear a lot of people on other Facebook groups that I'm part of it, and they say that Buck is a manager that he likes to stick to his veteran players. Is that the reason why we're not seeing all these young players start coming up and, shaking things up?
That's a great question. With Buck and, sometimes in the management realm, you stick with those who are time tested and proven versus those who have potential, but they are not. There's a likelihood of inconsistency in there. So sometimes, you as a manager, you got to deliberate between the schools of thought there.
But I'm going to put this out there. I think if the Mets don't make the playoffs, then Buck's gone and Epler
Definitely
is probably
Epler.
gone too. I don't see how Steve Cohen could spend this type of money and they don't even make the playoffs. And at this rate, and I know it's early, I know it's May, I'm usually a patient person. Trust me, I usually give them the Mets the benefit of the doubt. But I think, they're not repeating last year, and it doesn't look like 101 wins. And so there is a concern, and I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, Marge is saying that, she's saying one thing I know is if we're unhappy as Mets fans, so is Cohen. He is a big fan and will ultimately do what he needs to do to get this team together. Let's hope he does. But like other comments we've seen, money sometimes it's just not everything. Remember, certain teams with very low payrolls are unstoppable. So
yes,
Yeah.
off the field banking transactions, if you will, do not always correlate to on the field success. You all are correct in that, and that's why you hire the great minds of that GM who is positioned there to make sure that those dedicated dollars are put to good use.
yeah.
So, Andreina, you have another question?
I already did. I already asked the question about the high salary, if we can make any changes before
Okay.
before it's too late, which is when we start breaking down by the All-Star break is when I start getting that sort of
So
anxiety, but I'm feeling it now.
well, I have a question then.
Okay.
So the Mets have always had a strong farm system. According to MLB, the Mets are ranked number 11 with top prospects, 2 of which have already been called up, Beatty and Alvarez. With the Mets focusing on free agents in the offseason, do you think that this will hurt the team's farm system in the future? Or do you think they are solid enough with their prospects for the future?
Oh, that is absolutely excellent question. Because everyone wants to know not only now, can we win now, but also can we continue to win in the future? Okay, so you are correct that as of right now, the farm system ranks number 11. That is a tremendous improvement from previous years, and I definitely want to highlight that because in the preseason of 2021, they ranked 19th.
Wow.
Wow,
Yes.
that's not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, 2021, they were ranked 19th as far as farm systems go. And then in 2022, they moved up to 20th in the preseason listings. So now to be at number 11 ranking, that means they have drafted well and developed talent very well.
Even more to our point on bring in the kids.
Yeah.
It's a good farm system. Bring them up. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not consistently,
Hey,
but
they proved themselves. They proved themselves in spring training. They proved themselves down in Syracuse. They're hitting
Constantly,
the ball
mhm.
every game.
they're thirsty.
Yeah, and there's something about those young players that we want to see, that drive, and it also puts pressure on the veterans. You bring them up, and they're like, "Oh, wait, this guy's ready to take my spot." So I think that's really important too.
Absolutely, because just to illustrate for the viewers out there, their top 30 prospects for the Mets, it includes 15 pitchers, 2 catchers, 5 primary outfielders, and 8 primary infielders. At least 7 of these prospects are slated to see major league time this season.
So I have a question then, because you mentioned pitchers. And I looked at the records of the pitchers at Syracuse because I was like, oh my God, we got to bring up some really top-notch pitchers. And I didn't see anybody really performing well down there. So their best pitcher had a horrible ERA. And I was just concerned. And maybe that's just because it's Syracuse and it's a small sample. They're just starting out. They probably hit more in the minor leagues. I'm not sure. I'm not a minor league expert, so I don't know. Maybe you can help me with that to understand, like, if I'm looking at statistics, maybe I shouldn't go there.
You know, the minor leagues are there for development. What you will see sometimes in gameplay is not the notes that are being taken down and translated to the major league ball clubs, because it is all about development, not so much on the performance and the records. Of course, they want to win at every echelon. However, they are there to develop for the major leagues and be a right fit there. So many times they set out there with a strategy to have a pitcher perform in different instances, work on mechanics, work on, a nuance of things. So,
Okay.
you really won't see what's really going on all the time.
Yeah, just quickly, Marge said that, yeah, I say thirsty, she says hungry. But
Yeah.
we understand what the point is. So we have a question here from Simon 3. Prez, what do you think is a main reason why we are not doing as well as well this compared to last year?
Well, as Buck Showalter's recently said in her interview, I mean, when you're both not pitching well and you're not hitting well, you're not fielding well, that's a recipe for a disaster. All of those things are actually true at this point in time. They're not doing anything well. So, you have to.
They're not thinking well.
Right. You have to look at the inefficiencies, and you've also had the unavailability of certain players. Scherzer, who just got back from the suspension, and you also have the closer.
Being out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard other things like the long road trips, the inconsistency with the rain out delays. Like they haven't had the. I mean, this is maybe an excuse, but this is what I hear. This is not my reason. Maybe they haven't gotten a chance to like consistently suck. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe it's because it hasn't been like a normal rhythm. Like remember, like these games were like they were away for so long, and they came back.
They started out with a long road trip, and then they came home. They were actually played more road games than any team to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came home, and then they went out to California for a long road trip. And then they came home, and it was raining.
It's a different schedule.
But I do not. I don't like excuses. That's an excuse. They're professionals. Every team has some sort of challenge.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear it. So I know that Andrea is saying she's hearing that out there.
Yeah, it's not what I...
But that is just unacceptable. That's my opinion.
Do you think that can affect a team, Prez?
Well, absolutely. Performance on the field. I mean, when you have this variety of circumstances of travel, different time zones, different environments. I mean, you're not in your daily rhythm and habits that you would be at home. It can be disruptive, and it can cause unfavorable results. But that's why we have the competition committee of Major League Baseball and other sports that they do monitor these things of, okay, well, how to put teams in a competitive instance.
Well, it's not like the other teams have, don't have those similar kind of issues. If anything, the West Coast teams have, more challenges than the East Coast teams because they have to travel more. And it doesn't seem to bother them, except for Oakland, of course. But Anyway,
We have a comment here from Enrique. It's too early still. The players hurt. Scherzer's out with the suspension. Gotta be patient. The only
No.
team doing well is the Braves. Ugh. Everybody
No.
else is struggling
about
in the
Tampa Bay?
division.
I'm sorry. What about
In the
Tampa Bay?
division.
Okay.
In the division.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry.
I just-
I can't deal with that.
I mean,
because-
the Phillies are struggling. Yes, the normal, usual winners are struggling. But look at the Pirates. The Pirates are doing well when they were
Yeah.
sucking last
I mean,
year.
Look, Philadelphia had a very late start last year. So did Atlanta 2 years ago. Atlanta won the World Series 2 years ago. Philadelphia made it to the World Series. I get it, but the Mets have spent a lot of money for this team, and and we're in New York, and these fans are livid.
They're not gonna take
it's
it.
Not yes, it's
We're
not
gonna
okay.
take it.
It's just not okay. That's my opinion, and that's why, Prez, I'm glad you're here because you can be
Neutral.
calm me down.
And neutral. See how
Yeah,
calm
you
he
know,
is? We're
and-
here like,
and you know from the back end point of view. Like, we're just looking at the team on the field and going, what is going on? Where you're like, okay, all these intricacies, all the schedule, their nutrition, the injury, all those things. And we're like, I don't want to hear it. I want to see them win. Just give me the W. That's it.
In the business, I'm glad you say that because, yes, in the business of professional sports, Major League Baseball included, in the end, in business in itself, everyone is concerned with the results. Does it work? Will it do what we need it to do? So that product at the end is of most concern. So everyone right now, as the comments have come in, they are hungry for, a winning and effective baseball team. That's what we want.
yeah, I just think we have to, because I think whether there are the ones who are playing right now, they're just frustrated. They're very frustrated, and I think frustration is not a good thing. I think we just need to bring the hungry, thirsty ones to kind of, like I said, spice things up.
So we have a question about, speaking about future, we have a question about what you think will help the Mets. And
It's not even a wait. Okay, it's not even a question. I'm just gonna say one word. Ohtani.
Okay, he could be like our savior.
Do you
right
think
now.
it's visible? Do you think we can get Ohtani?
Okay, so with Shohei Ohtani, I mean, he is the prize coming in for next agent's free agency class. I mean, we could all agree with that. Everyone's waiting for this. Okay.
I'm waiting.
I'm not gonna read this because this is a comment about the last thing, and I want to keep talking about Ohtani. Tom, thank you for commenting, but
Oh, okay. We want to get to that comment after.
no,
What did it say?
it's about Tom. Tom says that he thinks all the reasons are correct, but losing 5 of 6 of the Tigers and Rockies is rough, no matter how much adversity they have faced. Yeah, that's unexcusable.
You know what, Tom? Thank you for affirming my belief as a Met fan, because it's hard.
Yeah,
it's tough. And so back to Ohtani. I mean, we need some kind of hope. We need to grasp onto something.
Yeah.
So Shohei Ohtani, he is the former American League MVP. Okay. He's also eligible for consideration for the Cy Young because he has that dual nature, being both a great pitcher and a great hitter. Okay, he's going to command a salary upwards of or a contract upwards of $600 million on the market this coming free agency period. Okay.
Oh my God.
We have it.
Yeah, we do, but
yeah.
blows my mind.
I mean, when it comes to the New York Mets and Steve Cohen, he's proven that he's going to open up the coffers to attract the best possible talent. I mean, when you're in New York, you want certain personalities that can, put up headlines and put up performance that's necessary. I mean, that's why you have people in New York, such as Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. You have Aaron Rodgers of the New York
Yay!
Jets.
I'm not a Jet fan, but yay.
And we have Aaron Judge over there with the
Bronson's
Yankees.
good. Yeah.
So when you're in the New York space, you want top contenders.
Of
So
course. We're very demanding, us New Yorkers, I
Yeah.
consider myself a New Yorker. I know you don't, but
I am.
you are.
I
No way. You
lived
lived in
and
New
worked
York.
in
You
New
lived
York.
Queens,
Yes,
so
that's the
hey.
reason I'm here, New York.
Yeah.
I could be in Florida.
So Shohei Ohtani, I mean, he's the second fastest pitcher to 500 strikeouts. The Mets have a strong desire, evidently, for strong pitching. He is obviously an upgrade to any organization, but specifically the Mets organization. So I firmly expect them to be competitive on the market and in the race for Shohei Ohtani.
Now, wait, hold on. Before we move on,
Okay.
what other team do you think, in your opinion, that could go after Ohtani?
Well, I firmly believe that the Red Sox will, pursue.
Wow. Hey, Tom.
Tom said it. He said Ohtani's going to the Red Sox, lady.
No.
Masaka
Okay.
Yoshida is going to be
I
the
heard
key
he
selling
doesn't
to the
like
deal.
Boston. He'd much rather be in Queens.
Yes. Let's just
And
hope
the other
so.
team, I'm sure you're going to say is our rival.
Oh, no, don't.
Over in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
It's
You
the
know,
Yankees.
True. Oh,
those buddies over there with big wallets, they stand to be competitive and attract arms to add to their arsenal as well.
Now, what about in California? Because there was initially the teams out there were ideal for him because being in California makes him closer to Japan. So he wanted to stay on the West Coast. Is that not the case anymore? Do you know?
I mean, they're holding it very close to the chest, of course, of his ideologies. But, of course, Shohei Ohtani, he's a proven winner. He wants to be in a winning organization. He wants to align himself in the most,
to the Mets.
Right.
The Mets, they'll give him so many runs and their defense is great and their relief pitching.
The fans are the best. Okay, Enrique's saying that San Diego is going for Shohei.
Well, yeah, I would think that any California team would be crazy not to, just because of that draw of being closer to his home country. That's 5 hours, difference there. Yeah. So I don't know, but maybe money talks, right?
Oh yeah.
Money talks, and also, it comes down to alignment with the right system because as we've seen with the California Angels, they've been a little bit stalled with run support for him when he's on the mound. So that could be a factor.
That could be a factor.
Yeah, that happens in Queens.
Just ask DeGrom.
Yo.
That's terrible. I know.
Nothing to laugh about.
Ask Verlander, right? I mean, gosh, he didn't get any
Brutal.
support the other night.
Oof.
He's like his first start for the Mets. He's like, what?
1 run, guys. 2 runs, 3 runs.
Just 1 run, please. Anyway. So do we have other questions for Prez for tonight?
We have a few.
Let's go back and see
let's
if we
just
have some that we can serve you.
I think let me see.
Anybody else
Marge,
out there?
any questions for Prez?
It's so fascinating just to get your input from your perspective.
I
from
think
an agent.
We have most of the questions answered,
too.
unless Prez, if there's anything that you would like to add, and from your perspective, on any predictions or any. Anything?
Well, one thing I want to address, and I understand, and it may be of value to the viewership there, is that I do understand that Steve Cohen has an interest in building a casino close to City
Oh,
Field.
yeah.
Oh, the casino.
That's right. Thank
Yeah.
you for reminding me, because I am a gambler.
Okay.
As we know, we heard about it last week. So I do want
More confessions time.
about the casino. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you brought that out.
Let's
of
talk
me
about it.
that
Let's see what
I
Prez.
want to talk about it too, because the casino outside in the community in Queens might be a good thing for the Mets. We'd rather look at a casino than a bunch of tire places and auto places in the back of center field. So go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. You can finish. I just got too excited.
Well, yes. I mean, we all like big money. I mean, Steve Cohen, he likes big money as well. I mean, Bloomberg has him listed at, a value of $13.1 billion. He,
Wow.
he is the owner of Point72 Asset Management Hedge Fund, So there are three casino licenses that have been planned to be awarded for the New York area. So that's, been slated.
Mm-hmm.
So it has attracted and stimulated interest. It has stimulated interest from numerous suitors out there in the New York space, one of which being the New York Mets and one of which being an offshoot of the New York Yankees organization. So competitively, of course, why Steve Cohen saying, well, why go the direction and allow the New York Yankees organization to benefit from this, but why not the Mets organization? So yes, with these numerous groups, Steve Cohen, he did present a proposal to secure approval of one of these licenses. Okay. As an update on that, Las Vegas Sands Corporation received an endorsement from Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman to operate a casino at the Nassau Coliseum site.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
I want it outside.
Looks like it's moving. Looks like the ball is rolling there.
But you know what? Steve Cohen has had some financial issues where his company was charged with some, not immoral kind of behavior. I don't know if he directly was involved in it, but the company.
There's some dirt.
Yeah, of course. And that may be a deal breaker because of those charges.
Money talks.
It was probably 11 years ago, but could be an issue.
In any instance, when it comes down to approval of these licenses, it is up to the state regulators to award the licenses here.
Yeah.
No,
I was going to say he's probably paid for certain campaigns.
As long as that brings him more money, so we can keep buying good players.
I'd rather him focus on our players than the casino. But I do like the idea of a casino outside of Citi Field. Okay, the Mets aren't doing well. I think I'm just going to go to the craps table,
As long as you bet on the Mets and not on the Braves.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm never going to hear the end of that
Nope.
So,
to expand on that, amongst the entities that are actually involved in vying for these licenses, they include the Aqueduct in Yonkers. Okay. They want to offer table games. You have Bailey's at the Trump Golf Course in the Bronx. You have the Steve Rose related companies and Wynn Resorts partnership for the Hudson Yards. You have the landlords of SNL and Caesars Entertainment in Times Square. You have many different, there's quite a few instances.
There's other options. Yeah, I see that. Well, I'm from Yonkers, so, you could build something in Yonkers already has their casino, but they want tables. And that's deal. That's a big deal.
That's different.
That's a change. That's going to change things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to expand on, you had mentioned actual campaign donations or so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell
I
us.
was kind of joking about it, but you probably might have some insight into that.
Yeah, well, just to illustrate, Steve Cohen, he was the single largest donor to Mayor Adams' 2020 campaign. He pumped in about
Single.
$2 million into an outside PAC that
He's
supported
smart.
the Adams primary. Mm-hmm.
He knows
Wow.
what he's doing. Well, I guess, like they said,
He's
money
keeping that
talks.
money going, which
Yeah.
is, you got to keep it flowing. The more you flow your money, the more comes your way. When that's what they say. It hasn't applied to me, but it's working for Steve.
Right. Those campaign contributions, they were actually reported by Bloomberg. If anyone wants to go ahead and fact check that or so.
Okay.
But yes.
All right.
Public knowledge.
So we should get the deal. But first, focus on Ohtani, and then,
Ohtani.
get some.
Let's
more.
sweeten him up.
Let's make a trade. I mean, are you thinking that the Mets will make a trade soon? I mean, that's the other thing is what are they going to do besides, I don't know. I feel lost right now. I really do. I don't
we
feel
have
like
to.
I have the answers for the team. I do have two answers for their offense, and they're in Syracuse. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We have to, I guess, be patient and hope that it's like a little slump we're having, and we're gonna come out of it.
Yes, I mean, when it comes down to it, 35 games in, as you mentioned before, the Atlanta Braves are the only organization that are over 500 in the division at 24-11. The games are seven. I mean, the Mets are 7 games back from them at this time right now. But patience is recommended.
He's speaking to me. I feel it. I feel like he's like, Brenda, be patient. And I'm usually a patient person. I am. I usually wait till like 40 games in. I just can't anymore. This is like so horrible. It's just horrible. I have to vent again. You got me going, Prez. I can't be patient. So, and I know there are a lot of fans that agree with me. They can't take it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You can't take it anymore.
I can't take it. I couldn't.
No, we can't take it.
It sucks because I stopped watching, and it kills me because I enjoy watching them so much, but I just cannot watch those games.
So I watch them, unfortunately. So we have Cincinnati and Washington coming up. So hopefully next week when we talk, we're gonna have better news.
Well, if Enrique's still on, Enrique, he's a Cincinnati Reds fan.
You're what? No Reds fans allowed. No, I welcome all.
No, as long as they're not Braves fans, well, everybody's welcome. Even Yankee fans.
I did invite a Braves fan to come on just to get that like little, that kind of.
No, I wouldn't. No
confrontation.
I wouldn't.
Going here.
No.
Okay.
Unacceptable.
Right.
No. Well, Prez, thank you so much.
I think that's it. We did run over, but I'm glad we did because there was so much to go through, and I really do appreciate you being here. You're our first guest. We love it. We don't, you know a lot more than we do.
Enrique said the Reds are easy prey. Well, we thought.
No, don't even go there.
Yeah, don't go there.
They have a Diaz. He may not be Edwin Diaz, but his name is Alex, and he's doing fine this year.
We can't make any assumptions anymore.
So I'm like, I don't want to face him because if they face Diaz, that means that they're losing.
Well, the Nationals were easy prey. Okay, let's not get it. The show's about. We have to end the show.
We can't go there anymore. Does anybody else have anything else? Also, listen, subscribe to us. If you haven't already, if you're listening afterwards, you're not live, you're viewing this, subscribe, send this to other friends, family members, coworkers. Please do that. And we'll be back next week. We'll keep it posted. And
Prez, thank you so much.
I
This-
thank you.
We
Thank
really
you.
There'll be more
appreciate
press shows. So
Yes.
we really enjoyed having you here and with your energy and knowledge. And
Yeah, it was
we
great.
also always thank our participants, our viewers, our listeners for participating and being such loyal listeners.
Yes, we appreciate it. And let's hope that next week, we've survived and we're feeling better and we have a lot to talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying the comments, everyone. As we say goodbye, Prez.
Thank you. You could hang on.
We're
for a little
smiling,
bit.
but we're crying
like
in the
signing
inside.
off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See, somebody like your suit, Prez.
Whoa.
Looking slick.
Yeah.
Why, thank you. Somebody do me a favor and send me a screenshot on this.
Oh, I
Tom
will.
Kelly,
Let me
if
do
you're
it
still on,
now.
Send me a
Yeah.
screenshot.
Okay, everybody look pretty now.
Wow. See, I
Thank
don't
you.
know how to do that. She knows how to do that.
I
So
can do it.
I'm like, I get too much when I'm doing this screenshot. So-
Yeah. Thank you, Prez.
Thank you.
Let's see what else is here.
We're not the only team in New York that's losing.
I know.
All right, Marjorie. Marjorie Simmons. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gracias, Kike.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Kike.
Kike.
Kike?
Kike's my brother.
Aw, thanks for joining, Kike.
Yes, you'll probably be a guest soon. Let's
Well, they are
see.
playing Washington.
I'm repeating all these comments. Is that okay?
All right,